No, only one.
Okay, I'll do Chava, because Michal's my name.
Okay,
So.
okay.
אני מיכל. Chava. Why didn't she go against the snake? Why did she follow the snake?
Why did you eat from the fruit?
Why did you eat from the fruit? Why did you change our whole history and give the birth?
Okay.
That was mine.
I'd like to share. Yes.
My name is Tzipora.
Your name is? Sharani.
And I would like to ask you, Tzipora, what would motivate somebody to become a refugee by choice? When you had a place to dwell, very peaceful with your family, and yet you chose to move with another people.
Great question. Thank you.
Who was
okay. Tzipora. Who else? Okay. All right. Did you choose?
I chose Esther, but I didn't really want to choose this. I wanted to choose Vashti.
Okay, that's fine. You could choose someone that's not on the wall. Vashti. Ask Vashti the
My question
question.
for Vashti: how did it feel having a new woman come in and take over when just because you didn't want to do something?
Great question. Okay. Would you like to share?
Sure. My name is Maeve. I chose Rivka, but I haven't exactly decided on my question. For Rivka yet.
Why did you choose Rivka?
Rivka is one of my favourites women in time.
That's a good reason. Terrific. Would you like to share?
Okay, I chose Ruth. Also, the question you can ask Ruth is, what gave her the strength to be able to give up her princesship in order to follow her mother-in-law to go
Great
to
question.
to
Who
go to a
follows your
land and
mother-in-law?
people that she did not know, to come to the level of being a poverty-stricken individual working in the fields. to
Right.
bring
What
food home.
motivated? What motivated? Terrific. Thank you, Rita. Would you like to share?
I've got Rachel. Rachel had to wait to become pregnant, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that I've asked the thing in relation to that, how it felt to be to wait while there were women around her were bearing children and having to wait. So
Very good.
Shlomi.
Shlomi.
I choose Rosh Yeshiva,
Rabbanit Osnat
Banit
Kurdistan.
Osnat from Kurdistan. It's very, very unusual. And my question is very simple. How
Lived
you
in the
became-
1700s.
Yes. How you became Rosh Yeshiva in Kurdistan?
And there definitely weren't women around
Yeah.
being Rosh Hashiva. Do you know how she became? She inherited it from her father.
I don't remember.
Her father passed away, and then she inherited it.
What was
She
her
became
name?
Rosh Hashiva.
What was her name?
She's not here.
Rabbanit Osnat.
Kurdistan.
What's the last name?
Balzani.
Marazani.
When we learn about
Wow.
Bruria and women in learning Torah, then she's one of the personality that appears of learned women through the generations, right?
I'm Liat. I've got Esther. I want to ask Esther how it felt going up against King Ahasuerus when it could have been such a danger to herself.
Yes.
My Hebrew name's Yocheved. I'm with Miriam. And my little son is now a big man. His name is Moshe. So I want to ask Miriam how my son is, and if she can tell me a little about him, and to thank her. So it's really just a question: how's my son? How did you feel when you found him? And yeah.
Beautiful.
I also chose Marianne, and I just want to know where she got her strength from.
A lot of strong women. Miriam.
I chose Bruria because I know very little about her, except for the fact that she kept the secret of her son's death over Shabbat and did not tell her husband.
Avimeir.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask her a question?
Well, the question is, how did you keep the secret?
Right. Where did
How
you get that strength?
Yeah, not to cry, not to well up and be
So Bruria is one
emotional.
of the personalities that we learn about, and we learn that story as well in the program. Yes.
Michal, and I chose Michal. I also did a bit of research into her. What I'd want to ask her is what happened to her after she criticized David HaMelech, and
Wow.
where did she disappear to? What was her
It's a
story?
very sad story. Yes.
I'm Avi, and I'm linked to Michal because I chose Abigail. And I wanted to ask her similar questions in terms of what was it like to be a woman as part of history in with a man who wasn't that wonderful. How did she stand by him? What was her role?
What, the Navad, her husband Navad. Yes.
I chose Ruth. I'd like to ask Ruth that in hindsight today, your story, your Megillah, paints you so perfectly. I wonder, was there more there? Were there conversations that weren't included? Were there additional factors? You know, it's such a wonderful story. I just want to know, is there more going on underneath?
Beautiful. I think that's also, like, what you're saying now is like modern Midrash. That's the function of Midrash. Chazal are asking, what is the story there? What's going on between the lines? And the questions that we ask today and what we say today, that is Midrash recreating again.
I didn't choose, I came a bit late, but if I had to, I'm just thinking, listening to the question, I would ask Leah. I mean, how was it to be in a relationship with a man that you know is actually not in love with you, but with your sister? And how did you cope with this kind of relationship with your sister and with your husband?
Wonderful.
I chose Devorah, the prophet and the judge, and thought that's a very non-traditional role for women even today, but then even more so. And I think I would want to ask her, what was her relationship with the women in the community like when she was living in such a man's world?
Terrific. That's a great question.
I found Yael unusual because she demonstrated physical strength, and most of the women have demonstrated incredible character or strong. So she seemed to have combined both. Of not being intimidated in the face of, like the David and Goliath situation, she was a female.
My name is Michal, and I also chose Michal. My mom gave me that name, first because for some reason she thought it's a beautiful name.
Like
and also
100,000 other Michals.
I have a problem with the cha. Australian can't do cha.
Yes, we can't.
But obviously your name is who you are, and I would ask Michal if the two of us have anything in common.
I chose Hannah because that's my Hebrew name, but I don't know much about her. So I guess I'd just ask her the same kind of thing.
Who are you? Right. You would ask her who.
Yeah, who are you? Are we related?
And Hannah is one of the women that we learn about in the program.
I chose Ruth, and I really wanted to ask her why she converted. She didn't really have to.
Right. As Riva was saying, she was a princess.
Yes. Why would she do that?
Why would you
follow this?
Yeah.
So I chose Sarah. I don't actually have a question. More though, she's a role model for me. I have a very open home, like Sarah. I suppose maybe the question is, which I'm still learning as I go along, is having that balance between family life and personal life. How did she manage that? But a few tips on that one.
I picked Miriam, and I think I'd like to ask her how she found within her the courage when everything was dark and nothing was right to challenge her father directly and say, hey, you're going to kill our nation. and to have that courage, but also in the darkest time of being slave to say, Hashem itanu, and we will be fine.
So you want to know where she got that courage from?
Yeah, very much.
I chose Tamar. I'm really two-part question. One, I'd like to know where she got the guts to do what she did. And two, I'd love to understand how she was able to cross the line, knowing that she was crossing a very, very big line, but knowing that it was okay to cross the line that time, and how you make that kind of judgment.
She even endangered her life.
Yes.
And her soul.
And you would
like
I would just ask Yocheved how she felt in a time when the decree was as the midwife, to actually kill all of these children of Israel, right?
What you asked?
Yocheved.
Yeah, what were you asking about?
How she dealt with that in the time being a midwife with Miriam. Yeah, and how she felt.
How she felt being midwife. Okay, so this is the way I begin the Batmitzvah program. Mothers and daughters are coming from home. They don't know what to expect. And I build a tent, and I'm so, thank you Naomi for helping me, and Fiona, the librarian, they say in Hebrew, Zalma, right? She went with the flow. We came in, and I said, Naomi, too bad I know the tent. And Naomi said, maybe we do have a tent. And we went in, and Fiona said, sure, take my tent. And I don't know, I know librarians in Israel, they guard their library, and she let them move everything, bring in cake, so she was mamash sababa, terrific. So I started with the tent, and I started dressing up, and mothers come in, they don't know what to expect. And I remember this mother coming in, many times they come in like this. I don't know if they do that in here, but they come in like, okay, let's see what you have to show us. And I remember a mother coming in and saying, Anachnu nisharot, like, we're staying. They came from Kfar Saba, so they didn't know me, and they said, we're staying. And you see many times the girls are there because the mothers drag them along, and the mothers are there because the girls drag them along. You want to create this mysterious, magical space away from everything they came from at home, putting the kids to sleep. We do it in the evening, we don't have a Sunday, but everything, and coming in and bringing them into this enchanted world, bringing alive the world of our tradition, of our Masorah. Because the big challenge, I feel, in teaching in general, but in teaching Yahadut, in teaching Judaism, teaching the book, is not to leave what we learn in the book. Not to teach history in Hebrew, the children called history. We're not teaching history.
It's a lot of material.
We're not teaching his story. We're not teaching hysteria. We're teaching them about themselves, and therefore we want to make it fun, but we want to bring it to life. And therefore they come into the tent, and the tent today is not the tent of the Avot, it's the tent of our mothers, of the women. And then they walk around the room. And what do they see here? Before they even focus on a specific person, they see women. They see, when I come to a group, even of facilitators, when I train facilitators with this program, and I say, okay, give me names of Gdolei Israel, of Gdolei. So who would you say? Give me a name of a Gadol.
In which time?
In our, no משנה. Yosef, Maran, Moshe Feinstein, anybody else, the Gadol. Baal Shem Tov. What? Gadol. Rabbi Nachman Mibreslev, anyone else? Rabbi Mirubavitch. What you did not say is Gdolot Israel. So in this program, that was a tricky question, but in this program, we do not learn about Gdolei Israel. We learn about Gdolot Israel. And we take the women that are in our tradition, and we put them on center stage, and we put the spotlights on the women. And these are the women that we learn about. And the mothers and daughters walk in the room and they say, wow, there are so many women, positive, female role models in our tradition. And I didn't know. The girls, if you think of the world we live in, who are their celebs? I don't know who are the latest celebs, maybe you can help.
Meghan Markle.
Who else?
Meghan Markle.
I don't even know these names. I know. But we want to give them is positive, female, empowering role models from our tradition, and to learn from each and every one of them what they have to give us. Where the quality that they had, the midah that they had, isn't there on the wall or in the book, but it lives inside of us. And how we take that gift for our life and we implement it in our life. Now, please, everybody get up. Get up. And now, women make one circle and men make another circle. Okay, or the men can make a triangle. Men on the side, men go over there. Okay, now. Sorry. How does it feel to be in the Ezrat Gvarim? You go. Great.
1 second. Okay, now, hold hands. And no matter what you do not let go, okay? And you follow. Okay, start moving. Skip. Faster. Other way. This is Chava Edelstein, you know? It's a song about girls dancing, women dancing. Doing the mainstream. Okay, in. We need. Come on, men. This way. Okay, faster. Ahead. Come on, we have a lot of energy today. Other way. We should make another step in. Come on, ladies. Men, you're not dancing. Come on. Guys, skip, Billy. In. Don't stop. Don't stop. Sorry, I'm
You feel like a trooper on the wedding.
I don't really know what it's okay, you're on. Are we good? Hang on. Sydney? I am sorry. Okay, as they say in Hebrew, Mani רוצה מהחיים שלכם. Okay. So what was this? You came to a Batmitzvah program. You didn't come to a Rikudei Am, to Zumba. What was this? What was this? Connecting. Yeah, connecting. We connected. What else? We laughed. So we laughed. Why is it important to laugh? Because it's fun. It's fun. Why is it important to have fun? It's relaxing, right? It's an icebreaker. We come from home, the mothers weren't sitting all day, they were working, and the mothers are coming and saying, oh no, not another class. And we're breaking all the barriers. Not everybody necessarily knows everyone, and we're just opening up. And what else? What is this? What did we do? What?
We created something.
Created something. What did we create? An experience. It's always good to experience togetherness of what? What was the togetherness?
A group of strangers coming together and now feeling comfortable.
Now feeling comfortable. Community. We created a community. What else? What was
a common purpose?
A common purpose. What was our common purpose?
To celebrate women.
Celebrate
the power that
women. Empower what?
The power that
the power that we have. Empower us. And what is this chain? Who are we? What do we have in common?
We're Jewish women.
Jewish women.
Bnot Israel.
Jewish women. Bnot Israel. We are the chain of Jewish women through the generations. We are connecting to one another, creating strength, empowering one another, giving one another energy, and connecting to this chain. At your bat mitzvah, that's what bat mitzvah is all about. You are, each and every one of you, are a new link in that chain. And through your mother, and your grandmother, and your great-grandmother, and through the women to all of the generations, till the imahot, you are connecting to that chain, and you are a new link at your bat mitzvah in that chain. Now, each and every one of you is a different link in that chain. Each and every one of us will give a different answer what it means and how she will connect to the Jewish tradition and to the Jewish chain. There is not one answer. You know, many times people talk about Ma'amad ha'isha b'yahadut, or Tafkid ha'isha b'yahadut, the role of women in Judaism. I never heard a course about the role of men in Judaism. Have you heard? There is no such thing. Thank you. There is no such thing as the role of a woman, or one model who you have to be, just like each and every one of these women gave a different answer to what her link and what she gave to Am Yisrael and what she gave to the tradition.